Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna give you the goods on the zodiac signs when it comes to jealousy and how to best handle that jealousy when it comes up in a relationship. This video is focused mostly on your sun sign, but along the way, I will give you some moon sign info as well in the situations where it has more of an influence. Okay, no more wasting time. Here are the goods on the zodiac signs when it comes to jealousy. Let's go. So first, let's break this into categories. Category 1 will be the signs that if they get jealous, they have no problem letting it be known loud and clear due to the fact that they want the situation handled and they want it handled with a quickness. These signs would be Aries, Taurus, and Capricorn. If they get triggered by jealousy, all three of these signs will not try to hide it. Jealousy for them comes much less from thinking that you're gonna leave them for someone else and much more from them being clear that in their opinion, you or someone else is disrespecting the relationship by not respecting the appropriate boundaries. Not only are these three signs the most outspoken when it comes to jealousy, but they're also the most willing to take action and big action when it comes to what is necessary to end the madness. So if you're dating either an Aries, a Taurus, or a Capricorn, and a situation comes up where they are experiencing jealousy, instead of telling them that they're overreacting or being ridiculous, ask them what is the behavior that is irritating them and what action it is that they want you to take in order to make them feel better. It is important to establish trust in any relationship, and with an Aries, a Taurus, or a Capricorn, you can at least be sure that they will tell you what it takes in order for them to trust you, and they'll also be open to hear what it takes for you to trust them. If you make an agreement that you will both honor the requests on both sides, then you should have no problem, because from that point on, you will be on the same page. I work with a lot of couples, and jealousy is a pretty standard human emotion when it comes to love and relationships. It's how you handle it when it comes up that matters. More than anything, if it's coming from not trusting the person that you're with, then we have an issue. But like I said, with Aries, Taurus, and Capricorn, they would usually not entertain the idea of being with someone that they don't trust. So it's more about establishing what the boundaries are for these three signs in terms of what they feel like is appropriate and honoring those boundaries. So yes, Aries, Taurus, and Capricorn, they do get jealous, but at least it isn't rooted in blatant distrust, and they are willing to handle it and move past it if you're willing to discuss a solution and if you stay away from judging them for feeling the way that they feel. And of these three signs, Capricorn is probably in the lead for being the most jealous, but this is simply because they usually have the most rules to follow in a relationship, and that's because they're the most confident and unyielding when it comes to what they believe to be right and wrong. Okay, category 2. These are the signs that if they have the feelings of jealousy, they will more than likely keep it to themselves, but the more it happens, the less attracted to you they are, and the more over the relationship they become. These signs are Leo, Virgo, and Libra. These three signs aren't big on conflict or showing signs of weakness, and in their eyes, jealousy is an emotion that they judge pretty strongly. The exception here is Libra. If their moon is Aries, Cancer, or Scorpio, then they will show their jealousy and they'll be really dramatic about it. So if we're talking about a Libra with Aries moon, Cancer moon, or Scorpio moon, then they're in the yes, we get jealous and we get crazy category. However, a Libra with any other moon sign will be more like Leo and Virgo in the way that they'll see your behavior as annoying and their feelings for you and the relationship will start to diminish. Leo is not into competition at all in this area. Not because they feel inferior, but they just think that if you're gonna be with them, then why would you ever want to focus on anyone else? And Virgos are hard enough on themselves, so they have no interest in being with someone who doesn't appreciate them enough to give them the focus and respect that they deserve. So they're just thinking, oh, another untrustworthy, self-centered person that I have to cut out of my life. And Libras are thinking, A, competing is a waste of time and so uninteresting, and B, they have a hard enough time staying interested in you. So if you're showing interest in someone else, you're making it very easy for them to talk themselves out of the relationship and wanting to be with you. So Leo, Virgo, and Libra, not that jealous in general, but when it comes up, it makes them less attracted to you instead of more eager to get your attention. So if you're dating one of these three signs and you feel the chemistry fading, it could be because you haven't been giving the relationship the energy it needs to thrive. 5. So if you want it to work with Leo, Virgo, or Libra, make sure they remain the object of your desire and focus, because if you're giving someone else too much attention, they will be gone before you know it, and you won't even really know why until it's too late. Okay, third category. In this category, these are going to be the signs that if they get jealous, they will do their best to play it off, but then do everything in their power to jump into the middle of the situation and redirect the focus. And these signs are Gemini and Aquarius. If you're dating a Gemini or an Aquarius and they think even for a second that someone is moving in on their territory, they won't freak out, they won't make a scene, and they won't make it obvious. If you're exchanging glances with someone else, they'll jump right into your eye line, or be sure to do something to regain your focus. And if it's in a situation where they see you engaged in a conversation or some back and forth that's a little too friendly, then they'll have no problem becoming a part of that party, changing up the conversation, and make sure to break up that little flow of energy that you have going on with this person. These two air signs, like Libra, can definitely be more intense on the jealousy scale if they have Aries, Cancer, or Scorpio as a moon sign. But in general, Gemini and Aquarius for sure get jealous, but will not outwardly admit it until maybe way after the fact when the two of you can laugh about the situation. But in the moment when it's taking place, they will bust up the action, or they'll take choice 2, which happens less of the time, but it does happen, and that's this. If they have access to a scenario where they can pay you back by making you jealous, they'll turn up the flirtatious connection that they're having with someone right in front of you just to even the score. But it usually isn't good fun, and neither Gemini nor Aquarius are going to threaten to break up with you over a jealous moment. They will do their thing to break it up or give you a little payback in the moment, but that's where it will end. And provided they don't have one of the moon signs that I mentioned earlier, more than likely, jealousy won't be a major issue to worry about. Of the two signs in this category, if I had to choose one as the more jealous type, it would have to go to Gemini, only because of those two signs. Gemini is just a bit more dramatic overall when it comes to their feelings. So if those feelings get triggered, you will get more of a show from them. So it may not actually be that they're more jealous, and it may just be that they're more likely to show it, if at all. It's also important to note that these two signs don't have a big problem with their own jealousy with regard to what you're doing, but if you're being really jealous of what they're doing, then we have a problem. I don't know if you watched my other videos, but I've definitely discussed the fact that the air signs, especially Gemini and Aquarius, require a lot of freedom in the relationship in order to feel excited and to keep that desire to stay connected burning. So if you're super jealous of them, there's gonna be an issue. But with regard of them being super jealous of what's going on in your world, yeah, they don't give that much energy. Okay, category 4. Now this sign gets a category all to themselves. I'm gonna start to describe this sign, and as I'm describing it, see if you can guess which sign it is that I'm referring to. All right, here we go. It takes a lot for them to get jealous, but if they do, they will confront you in a way to make you feel stupid for your behavior, while also making sure it does not at all appear like the jealousy is coming from any sort of insecurity on their part. What's your guess? Drum roll. Yep. Sagittarius. Sagittarius gets a category all on their own because they will do anything and everything in their power not to show any form of jealousy, but will also do anything and everything in their power to try and make you look like you're the crazy one if they're feeling jealous in any way. Their jealousy also does not come from them fearing that you're gonna leave them for someone better. Their feelings of jealousy are more coming from a place of them thinking, how is it even possible that the amazingness that they are is not all that you want to focus on? So Sagittarius is one of the least jealous signs actually, but one of the funniest when it comes to jealousy, because if they're in a situation where they think you are doing anything you shouldn't be doing, they will find a way to call you out without at all revealing any of their issues in the process. So if you're dating a Sag, jealousy shouldn't be an issue, but when it does come up, it's at least entertaining. All right, category 5. Now these 3 signs, if you've been watching the whole video from beginning to now, all the way through, you already know who they are. But these signs, if they get jealous, which they do, all to different degrees, but they do. When they do, they momentarily shut down in an attempt to figure out if they're gonna leave you, cut you, or try to play it off. And these signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Now of these 3 signs, Pisces is going to be the least jealous because They aren't too possessive, and more than likely they're not too concerned if you're flirting with someone or not. As a matter of fact, a lot of times Pisces are thinking to themselves, yes, please go flirt with somebody else and give me a break. But when they do experience jealousy, although it's less often than Cancer or Scorpio, it can still be pretty intense. They won't try and break up with you for it, but they will give an Oscar-worthy performance if the situation gets under their skin enough. But usually they will go the play it off routine. The cool thing is with Pisces, once you give a sincere apology and reassure them that you love them and only them, then it should be resolved and you can get back to having a good time and enjoying the relationship. Now, when it comes to Scorpio, yeah, they do for sure get jealous, especially Scorpio moon. So remember that. Anyone with Scorpio moon, if Scorpio's in their moon sign position, they will for sure experience feelings of jealousy. They will just do their best to absolutely hide it. But back to Scorpio sun sign. When they get jealous, it's usually because they feel like you've hidden something that is suspicious. And like I've said in other videos, if you try and hide something from a Scorpio, they will find out. So your best bet is to be upfront with them. Now, little flirtations here and there, they won't trip about. But a blatant act that raises red flags, yeah, they will for sure get jealous. And once they've gathered evidence to call you out, to prove that your behavior is what they're saying your behavior is, then you will be confronted and convicted of your crime. So with Scorpios, you can just remember one rule of thumb. Don't hide anything from them and you'll be cool. So if you keep everything transparent and on the up and up, jealousy shouldn't be a big issue because when it comes up, they may get a little irritated, but it won't cause major waves. But if you're trying to hide something, yeah, that will cause major waves. It will chip away at their trust and it can ruin the relationship. Okay, now for the big one when it comes to jealousy. Cancers. Oh, Cancers, you know you can get jealous sometimes, and when you do, it is not low-key at all. Whether it be Cancer sun sign or Cancer moon sign, when they get jealous, the world is going to stop and listen to what they have to say. Remember how in the beginning of this category I said these three signs will shut down momentarily so they can figure out if they're going to leave you, cut you, or play it off? Well, Cancer skip right to cut you and then leave you. If you trigger a Cancer's jealousy, it is not something that is just going to handle itself and pass. It is a big deal. They will be very hurt at the idea that you would have any sort of what they would consider romantic or inappropriate interaction with anyone. So if you're dating a Cancer and you want to make sure that jealousy is not an issue in the relationship, this is what you do. Have a conversation with them and ask them what are their deal breakers when it comes to the relationship and jealousy, meaning what are the actions that they are not willing to put up with. Get very clear on what those are and make a commitment to keep those behaviors out of the relationship. The beautiful thing about being with a Cancer is when the love and trust is there and the two of you are happy in the relationship, it is amazing. They are supportive, protective, and an affectionate person to be with. So making sure that they feel loved and respected is worth it. When a Cancer gets jealous, it's not about them thinking that they aren't good enough or that they don't measure up. It's about them being hurt and in total disbelief that you would ever allow any other energy to infect the love that the two of you have. So it's actually a form of protection. And I know that having that perspective doesn't really help the situation when they're acting out, but at least you'll understand a bit more where they're coming from and that it isn't necessarily about them not trusting you. It's about them being really unhappy about the idea that something is threatening their relationship. Now, you may be thinking, but that's ridiculous. But in a relationship, it's not about you agreeing with why the person that you're with is feeling the way that they feel. Many times you won't agree because you're wired differently, but it's about caring enough about them and the relationship to do what it takes to make sure that they feel loved. If both of you do what it takes to make sure the other person feels loved, then you're both happy. And many times you may think that what they need is silly, and that's okay. The bottom line is, with any of these three signs, or really with any relationship, it's important to get clear on the do's and don'ts in that relationship. What are their boundaries? What are your boundaries? And honor those. If you honor those, you will have trust, and with trust as a strong foundation, the love can freely express itself between the two of you. Now, jealousy is a natural human emotion. It can be handled productively with communication and setting clear boundaries that both people in the relationship agree upon and feel good about. If jealousy is coming from a lack of trusting the person that you're in a relationship with, then you need to look at yourself and not the person that you're with, because you need to ask yourself, why am I with someone that I don't trust? But if trust really isn't the issue and it comes from wanting to protect your relationship or just not being excited by the idea of seeing someone that you love showing any form of romantic interaction with someone else, Well, yes, we can all understand that feeling because no matter what your sign, you have felt this at some level. Love is hard enough without putting added pressure and outside influences into the mix. So if you're in a relationship, take the time to discuss what your boundaries are. If you both make a commitment to honoring the boundaries on both sides, then the bond will be strengthened and jealousy won't cause a major issue. But if you're completely closed off to the needs of the person that you're with, or they're completely closed off to your needs, then that is an indication of a much bigger issue that definitely needs to be addressed. I can tell you from experience, the more you strengthen your communication skills and work towards having a relationship with full transparency and trust, then jealousy can be a normal issue that comes up, gets dealt with, and over time diminishes to the point of not existing if you both are committed to making sure that the person you're with feels heard, feels understood, and more than anything else, feels loved. I really hope you all found this information useful. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to know which sign you all think is the most jealous and what the best solution for that jealousy is. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.